This is Nico, my little baby Ragdoll, who has a quarter Persian in him, and my name is Sophia. It is lovely to meet you. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. I think that's what every YouTuber always says, so I'm going to say that. So I'm creating just a range of different videos which will all be listed in my channel, and I'm going to break down just the tips and tricks I've learned from being a ragdoll mum that might help you, whether you're considering getting a ragdoll or you already are a parent to one, and there might be some tidbits of wisdom that may help you. So please do comment, say hello, let me know where you're at in your journey, and subscribe. So this video is just me saying hello, setting the scene, just letting you know a bit on how I became a mum to these two beautiful ragdolls. So this is Nico, and Billy is asleep in the other room on her tower, so I didn't want to disturb her. She's having her afternoon nap, but I just wanted to let you know kind of how I decided on the ragdoll breed, and the other videos will give you more of a breakdown into the specific areas of, you know, the research that I did when I was deciding on which breed to get, the selection of my two babies here, you know, the day that I brought them home, the first week, the first month, the first few years. So there will be much more in the other videos, but for today I just wanted to share my background. So I didn't grow up with pets. I had a fish when I was about 4 or 5 that died not long after. I had a robot dog, and I had stuffed animals that looked like cats and dogs. So I didn't grow up with pets. My mum doesn't like cats at all, and dogs were out of the question. My parents just didn't want dogs in the house. I think they think they're not clean. So as soon as I moved out, the first thing I did was get a cat. But before then, there had been many years of research, Googling, conversations with breeders. So I would call people up and just ask questions and advice, and speak to people who had cats. And it was through my research and actually doing quizzes. There's a lot of free quizzes online where you can see which breed of cat you should get that suits your lifestyle, suits your personality, your needs, your wants. And for me, ragdolls actually kept coming up, and it was a recurring theme. And the more I researched, the more I realised actually this breed would really suit me. They are a pedigree kind of cat, so they are expensive. You typically wouldn't get these in a shelter if you were to adopt. Maybe you would, but typically you would go to a breeder, and you know, when I got both of them, there's this laminated sheet I had which showed their whole lineage. It was literally a family tree, to prove that they are pure breeds. And I didn't really know anything about any of this at the time. I just knew that I wanted a ragdoll, to be honest. But you know, I had to sign something to say that I'm not going to be breeding them because they are very expensive cats. Actually, I think I paid 500 or 550 for each of them, but some can go for thousands as well. It's just steeping. So I had, like I said, I'd spent a lot of time researching, I'd done these quizzes, I'd spoken to people, and I had realised that the timing wasn't right for me as well. When I did move out and I had my own place, I realised that it wouldn't be fair for me to get a cat at the time. I had a full-on job in London, and then after work, so I'd be up out of the house at like 6 a.m, 6:30 a.m. I'd be out of the house a whole day. I'd then go to the gym or socialise after work. I'd get home late, and it didn't seem like it would be fair at all for me to get a cat, if they're going to be an indoor cat as well, and pretty much dependent on me. So I think October 2018 was when we got Billy, and by that point my job was a bit more flexible. I was able to work from home a lot more. I probably, because I was getting older, just becoming less sociable, and my partner was also fully remote, so he was at home all the time. So it just seemed like the right timing to get a cat. So I then reached out to a breeder in my local area, which was in Kent, and had quite a few conversations with her, and saw her latest litter. I went over when she had just these beautiful little newborn kittens just running around, and I remember Billy just sitting on my lap and just licking my hand, and I looked into her little blue eyes and I just fell in love, and I was like, I want her. So yeah, I think that was it. Before then, I liked the idea of having a puppy or a dog, to be honest, just because of their personalities, but I don't think I'm responsible enough at all to have a dog. I think you need a lot of energy, and I think they are a lot more needy and dependent than cats. Cats are a lot more independent. I personally don't think they're high maintenance. You know, even if you just did the basics, that's still actually enough. You know, feeding them, changing their litter tray, giving them water, dry food, and a bit of play and a brush. You know, they clean themselves. They're not messy. They don't need to go out for walks. Because ragdolls are indoor cats, so there's a couple of things actually that I learned with that, because I remember thinking, I don't know how I feel about keeping a cat indoors. You know, is that fair? Is that natural for the cat to just be inside? But with ragdoll specifically anyway, from what I learned, if it did get out, it probably wouldn't survive. They are, as I mentioned, you know, that they are very expensive, because they're pedigree cats. If they got out, the most common thing that happens is they get stolen, and because people know they're worth a lot, which is quite sad. But the other thing is, because of their nature, they're just really playful and trusting and curious. If they saw a car coming towards them, they'll just kind of look at it and be like, oh, what's that coming towards me, and then just get splattered on the road. So yeah, I luckily haven't had any instance where the cats have got outside. I did have a lead for them, and I originally had thought, you know, I'll take them out for walks, but after a few times of taking them outside, I realised it's probably not good for me to be letting them get too familiar with the outside, because then, you know, if the front door's open, they're more likely to jump out, whereas at the moment they kind of know that you don't cross that point, you know, that they know what their territory is, and it's the whole house. So yes, in conclusion, really, because I've waffled a fair bit, but in conclusion, the reasoning and my journey to becoming a ragdoll mum was, I just always loved the idea of having a cat. I'd done lots of research. I had loved the personality of ragdolls. They're really affectionate, they're loyal, they're trusting, they love to be near you, they love being held. They're called ragdolls because if you hold them like a baby, they just flop. I mean, he is just completely like like Nico is just, yeah, he's doing Superman right now. Yeah, they just love their humans, they love to be near you, they're so sweet, they're really intelligent, they're beautiful little beings, and the life expectancy of a ragdoll anyway is between 12 to 15 years, and I think that's because they're indoor cats as well, so they typically tend to live longer. They can go up to 20 years, and I think there's even been some that have lived longer than that, but I got Billy when I was 30, so I also knew in my mind, okay, I'm going to be a mum to her until my mid-40s, maybe even to my 50s, so I kind of knew I was making that commitment as well. The only thing I would say is, yes, with travel and going away and just being there for the cats, so in terms of lifestyle, I don't travel as much as I used to, but now if I do travel, the cats won't be in a cattery, they will be in the house, and I will organise for somebody to stay here, and I will just say, you know, you've got a free pad for a week or for 2 weeks. All you need to do is just keep the cats alive, and I will give them a kind of handover of, you know, they're very easy to look after, but that's kind of my only challenge, I would say, the flexibility and the freedom. But for me, it's totally worth it. Only other thing I would say is the Ragdoll cats were developed in California. So they were developed by Anne in the 1960s, and she was trying to create a cat that was puppy-like. So I think it was a blend of Burmese, Persian, and I think there were a few other breeds, and that's how the Ragdoll kitten came about. And the first ever Ragdoll is called Josephine. So, you know, they were developed to be this way, and that's also why they are so expensive and also quite rare, because you're getting a cat that has very specific characteristics and traits, which is unique in a way, because, you know, these are living beings at the end of the day, but cats are like us, you know, they're like all living things, they all have their own personalities, but I think with ragdolls you typically know what you're going to get, whereas with other cat breeds, I don't know a lot about other cats, to be honest, because of my own experience, but yeah, I would say that that's the other kind of reason why ragdolls are expensive, why they aren't as easy to get hold of in a way as well. I will stop the video there, but I hope this was helpful, and drop me a comment, say hello, and I will see you in the next video.